Welcome back to Big Thursday Night Modern at Magicon Vienna. My name is Michael and joining me today is Walter. On the left we have Stefan playing Jeskai control, facing off Martin on the right playing black-green Tron. So Walter, what do you think about Stefan's Jeskai control build, and is there something special about it?
Yeah, so if you've been watching us for a while now, Stefan has a very unique build of Jeskai control. What's special about his build is that he has 4 spell quellers, so he has a queller build, but in addition he has a wide range of planeswalkers. He has 2 Gideon of the Trials, 2 Chandra Torch of Defiance, and an honorary planeswalker in Keranos, God of Storms. So what about Martin's list here while our players are drawing the cards?
Yes, Martin is not splashing red. This time he's splashing black for 3 Fatal Push main, and in his sideboard he has Collective Brutality and Thoughtseize, so we will see how this match turns out for him.
Yeah, and here we see a turn 1 expedition map, and Stefan just passes with an untapped Talent Fountain here.
Yes, we will see how fast he can assemble Tron. Currently has
no turn
3 Tron and 1 up from Stefan. He's peeking at his top card of his library and he's trying it, so it has to be a good card.
Yeah, generally speaking here in this matchup, the Tron play is very, very heavily favored. I actually talked to Stefan about it, and he's not happy with the Tron matchup. He's tuned his sideboard a bit, and even though he's playing the Queller build, he's still not happy with the Tron matchup. He's just hoping to dodge it. You can't beat everything in Modern. And here we see Martin all the way up to Tron, 2 pieces already.
Yes, and he did the right thing. He did not search for Ursa's Tower, because when he now searches for Ursa's Tower, he gets immediate access to 3 more mana instead of 2, and this is the best play he can make at this time. So we are going to see a Chromatic Star here from Martin. And are we going to see another card? No, he's cracking it. We do not know for which mana.
Probably
but it doesn't matter. Most likely.
Because Fatal Push is not doing much on this board here.
So we see a Chromatic Sphere here. He's doing the same with Chromatic Sphere. Now he has 2 mana in pool, or am I wrong?
No, because he uses the mana he has floating to cast the next one, then he taps, and then he has 1 floating, so now his mana pool is empty. We see an end step expedition. Which expedition is this, Michi?
Steamvent.
Yeah, correct for once. Awesome.
I read it.
And also we saw here Martin has a copy of Fatal Push in hand, which is generally not very good in this matchup, but might be useful against Spell Quellers, because he has ways to trigger Revolt with his Star Spheres and also that Relic that is in play currently.
Another nice play here from Stefan. He destroys Martin's mine, and Martin doesn't fetch anything.
He probably, how many basics? He has access to 1 forest.
Access
so
to 1 forest.
His hand,
and
yeah.
Hand.
He's playing it here for his turn. The thing is, Stefan's playing 2 copies of Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin hugely improves the matchup of these control decks here, but because of the heavy mana requirements in Stefan's build, he can only play 2 in his 3-color deck, not the full 4, the 2-color builds such as blue-white, or even 3-color builds that are more suitable and have less stringent mana requirements like Grixis control lists plays, but he drew both of them now, and now there's no Tronland left in play for Martin.
Yes, but we also did see Martin making a play. He did not want to pay 1 life point for activating his Llanowar Forest.
Llanowar Wastes, yeah.
Llanowar Wastes. So he could not pay the Tron land in this turn. So currently he has 0 Tron lands in play and just 1 Llanowar Waste and 1 forest.
Yeah, and both of those were just wastelands with an activation. Both Field of Ruins were wastelands with an activation cost of 2, which is a hugely powerful card in Modern, because there's only 1 basic. So we see the advantage of the mono-green Tron lists, which run 4 to 5 basic forests, meaning that you can always fetch. But here you get those black cards, which are very nice, but the consistency and lowered frequency of having access to basic lands in your deck means that you have a very, very real downside of playing a 2-color version here, don't you think?
What are we going to see from Stefan's side here? He's going to cast Chandra Torch of Defiance.
That's a good threat on an empty board. It's a very good threat on an empty board. So here we just see him dealing 2 damage here. Exiling a card, couldn't cast it, couldn't see what it was, but it doesn't matter. Now Martin has to deal with the Chandra, and now he has 2 Tron Beasts back up, still missing that tower. And he's playing Walking Ballista for 2, which is nice, but it's not good enough. So Chandra can just tick down on that And
Yes.
now it doesn't even need to.
No, but you know what? If Chandra would have ticked down, he could have killed her in response
No,
to this
because it
walking
was for
ballista.
2. Then Chandra would
Yes.
have gone to 1.
No, tick down is for free.
Ah, sorry. I
down-
have
yeah.
played this card before.
Oh,
So, yeah.
choose to not play it because he doesn't have 2 white sources in play. Only 1 Hallowed Fountain.
Oh,
No.
because he didn't play
Yeah.
the land before. He would have had a Gideon on the board now, but it's probably if he has access to counter magic in his hand, going for the search and the counter backup instead. Seems like the safer play anyways, but Gideon Jura is quite something. He's not
wasn't
playing
it Gideon of
Jura.
the Trials?
It was Gideon of the Trials. There's no Gideon Jura in
Yes.
this deck. They're both
No.
Gideons, but there is a pronounced difference in mana cost and power level for these cards.
Yes.
Like Gideon Jura, I can never beat this guy. But
So Martin is already up on 5 lands, 2 Ursus Power Plant and 1 Ursus Mining Play. So sooner or later he's going to draw his Tron.
He's
his
still
last
missing
Tron
the
piece.
tower, and
Yes.
he's got a fail push in hand, he's got a Khan in hand, and he's flicking his cards so quickly, I'm not sure what the other cards is. And Ugin, I saw an Ugin here
Ooh,
too.
sweet.
So he's
Would
just
have wiped
missing
the
the
board.
mana. He can probably wreak quite a bit of havoc on this board if he were to draw that tower.
What kind of counters is Stefan actually playing? Oh, we see one
Yeah,
here. Logic
Stefan
Knot.
is playing 3 Logic Knots and 2 Cryptics main and 3 Spell Snares, which are nice because in this spot they could counter any Sylvan Scrying, so they
Yes.
cut out. And yeah, Keranos. Keranos, the honorary Planeswalker, and now we see what Martin can do here because the search for a Skunter is still not flipping, but we have 7 lands in hand. 7 lands in play here for Stefan, and now he's triggering both Search and the Keranos, which is very nice because he resolves the Search trigger first, so you get to get rid of that 1 land on top, and then he gets to reveal the Supreme Verdict, dealing 3 damage to Martin here with the Keranos trigger, and now we're just going, so this clock is quite fast with Keranos and Chandra. We've got 5 damage a turn most of the time with this combination with the Search here.
Yes. And we do see Stefan outramp Martin here clearly. He needs to draw his last Tron piece to stand a chance in this match. In his race, actually. But
He's dead in 2.
yes, he's dead in 2 terms. When can he attack with?
Yeah,
the
now,
dart?
Spell Queller here, but Martin would have the push ready, but look what Martin did here, because he had to do it. He tapped his Llanowar Waste, because then he would have been able to cast Ugin straight away, but I think that might have been a slight oversight. I would have used the power plant, because then you can still cast Ugin for 8 if you get to resolve that, but it means that if it gets Spell Quellered, you have access to black mana, but the thing is you still don't have a revolt trigger, so that's a bit annoying.
Yes, without a revolt trigger, it didn't really matter. So he's sticking up Chandra up to 7. Now next turn she could actually ultimate.
Yeah, there's no coming
But
back from the ultimate,
there's- Yes, there's really no coming back from the ultimate.
Not on this board.
You know what the ultimate does?
The ultimate gets you an emblem, and with every spell you cast, you get to deal 5 damage to a target, right?
Yeah, target creature, target player.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Which is changed now with Dominaria. It will just be target, and you can target creatures, planeswalkers, and players. So if you haven't seen it, the new lightning bolt there's just a new wizard lightning bolt. Sorry for spoiling you guys. It's a lightning bolt when you control a wizard, otherwise it's more expensive, but it just says deals 3 damage to a target, and there's a rules change coming that now there's no planeswalker redirection rule anymore. You just get to deal damage to a target, which means either a player, a planeswalker, or a creature.
Oh, sweet to hear about this. Did not read all my way through the Dominaria spoilers and rules change text yet.
Me neither, but that rules change is kind of important. Now we have Fatal Push being played. Probably Revolt is triggered, so Fatal Push on the Spell Queller, which means that Martin will be able to at least put a Khan on the stack in the same turn if both of these spells resolve. So Fatal Push resolves, Spell Queller dies, he gets his Crime back, gets a tower, and we see an opt-in response.
So is he going to draw a counter? It's for sure on the top card. Scry it to the bottom. Now blind draw. Is it a counter? Yes.
No, it's another opt.
It's another opt. Also
I
great.
saw that from his motion. From his 1 mana
Okay.
motion, it's another opt. But
Down
he can,
to the bottom.
He can even draw into Spell Snare
Another-
because then he can
yes.
Spell Snare that Scrying. Did he draw into Spell Snare?
we will see. No, he did not try in the spells now. Martin is searching his library, obviously for a tower, because it's the last missing piece.
But
sorry.
Khan is not doing enough on this
No,
board, right?
really
With
not.
There's a Celestial Coronet hiding below
Yes.
that pile of lands too, so Khan is doing nothing. Khan can exile Chandra, which is
It
kind of
needs to
recommended,
exile Chandra.
and then he's just still dead.
No, he's not really dead, because... Or?
If Karanos steals damage, yeah, now he's dead.
yeah. Completely dead. Because now we have 4 damage with the 2 Snapcaster mages on the board, and
4 with the
4
Colonnade.
more with the Colonnade.
And probably, if he wants to, an additional 3.
And on top is the Cryptic Command, which were an additional 3, so everything is good and fine. First round goes to Stefan, which is kind of very unlikely in this matchup, but he did it. He drew all the cards he needed. He drew his fields. He played his fields not only like Wastelands, but even better, because he for himself could search out basic lands.
Yeah, it was a Wasteland with the 2 activation cost, and then you got a land back, so that's amazing. So yeah, basically, so Martin stumbled, but not quite. His hand was very nice here, but Stefan just drew both of his copies of Field of Ruin, which is the best card he has access to in this matchup, and then Martin was never able to assemble Tron until it was already too late. He assembled Tron the turn before he died, which is not what you want to do. Here we see Stefan sideboarding Gideon of the Trials. I would recommend taking that out. Stefan agrees with me here. I already saw 1 copy getting boarded out. Chandra and Karanos also don't seem amazing. He's probably boarding those out too. So he's boarding out his top end for more interaction. In his sideboard, he has access to 2 copies of Ceremonious Rejection. If 2 negates, 2 Crumble to Dust, which are very specifically designed to be featured in this matchup. And if he wants to, and if he has more space, he can play Wear Tear just as a shatter effect if he wants to do that. And basically, I think that's it. So what's Martin got access to?
Well, Martin got access to more threats in the form of Rakdust for generic mana and 1 green. 5/3 creature, really evasive, and another good card might be Thoughtseize.
Thragtusk is not evasive at all, by the way.
Not evasive,
Thragtusk
sorry.
It's very
just
resilient, it's not evasive.
Resilient,
Imagine
I'm
if
sorry.
Thragtusk would fly. I can't imagine that. It's
all
just
over
a
this
big dumb
guy,
face.
Rakdust. No. Yeah, well, Thoughtseize, Thought-Knot-Seer, of course, for 4 mana, disrupting your opponent's hand, while putting a big creature on the board is really sweet. And one nice thing about Thought-Knot-Seer is that Stefan can spell quell it, because it's overcasting cost 3. And then
Spell Queller hits things up to casting cost 4, by the way. You can Spell
Oh,
Queller
no.
without not Seer.
I'm sorry.
You can spell, but Spell Queller is
I made a
like,
mistake there.
Spell Queller's
Yes.
on the draw, it's iffy if you want to have it against Tron in the first place, I think, because on the play it's very nice because it hits all the interaction, it hits all the setup pieces for Tron, hits all the things they need to get the Tron lands, and then you beat down with it for 2 damage, frying a turn. But on the draw, it might just, I'm not sure if you want it, but I also don't think if it's not at least better than other cards in Stefan's main.
Yeah, well, maybe Martin did think about it because I saw him pouring out some Fatal Bushes. So maybe he thought, I don't need them in this matchup. I just bought all of them out. I just don't care about Spell Queller because most likely he will board them out anyways. So I just put them all in the sideboard and get him my good stuff to threaten him early in the mid game and in the late game.
But we've seen that like preemptive sideboarding, like this next leveling, it's very important to board for your opponent's sideboard plan, but if you misevaluate what the sideboard plan would be, in some of the past sessions of Big Thursday Night Model at Magic Corner Vienna, we saw that really bite some people when they boarded against cards that ended up staying in their opponent's sideboard. That's like, it's a trade-off here. It's a good strategy in general, but it's not always working out in practice, I think.
It's kind of a risky strategy, I would say, because maybe it's better to do this strategy on a Pro Tour or a Grand Prix, but at small tournaments, people try out different stuff. They evolve their deck from tournament to tournament and try out cards, try out gameplay, etc., and try what works best for them and in the meta they are playing.
Yeah, but both of them, like Martin and Stefan, they've been playing Modern for a long time. They're both pretty much experts with their decks, and I assume they've also played this particular matchup quite frequently already. So I think if Martin thinks that the spell quellers are not good against him, that's fair enough, and I think Stefan agrees with that. But the question Stefan has to ask himself is here, Are they still better than some of the more expensive Planeswalkers? Yes or no? He would like to probably board out all of those cards, but he doesn't have like 15 sideboard cards designed for the Tron matchup.
No, I don't think so. So we do see 2 Tron pieces for Martin here. One is Urza's Power Plant, and we do see full Tron turn 3. He's doing it again, cracking a Chromatic Sphere. And what is he going to do? Does he have a threat in hand? What is he going to play?
So he's cracked this Sphere now, so
Yes.
he's got access to 6 mana.
Oh,
Oh
Worldbreaker.
no, 7 mana because he still had the mana that was
Yes.
floating as well.
So 1 land is gone, but buff to exile from Stefan here. And now Martin can search for his 1 basic forest in his deck.
Unless
Value.
it's in his hand again.
No.
But that was really unlucky for Martin. If that forest were in his hand before, he would have had at least the first field. He would have been able to search something, and he would have had a bit of a faster comeback after
Yes.
that land destruction, probably.
But so it was in his hand. It was very unlikely that he would have it in his hand, but it happened. Happens from time to time. It's magic. A little bit luck is always involved.
Sure, but now we've got Stefan on 1 land against Martin's 4. That
Yes.
does not seem to be the fight he would like to be fighting, or anybody would like to be
Nope.
fighting. Like, what does he do now? Turn 2 search when his opponent plays an Ugin after that? It's like, there's turn 2 nothing.
Oh my
Okay.
god. He only has Celestial Colonnade. Which
There's
comes
no
into
more
play
lands
there.
in his hand.
No.
He has Spell Snare up actually, but that's not going to do
but
anything.
No, Martin has access to 11 mana.
10, but that's
10?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's just 1 tower. So 3
Yeah.
plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 9 plus 1 is 10. I'm good at math.
Yes.
But Thragtusk and Map are both pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So we see Thragtusk, he's not very evasive. He's probably opposite of evasive, but he's very, very
Resilient.
annoying to get rid of.
Come on.
I just like to make fun of you sometimes.
Yes, I know.
It's
Oh,
good.
and
yeah,
Thoughts
thoughts
is
is
from
from
the
the
top.
sideboard.
But he's going to see that. Yeah.
You just take the logic node here and then there's no interaction left.
Yes.
Like you just take the logic node and everything else just doesn't matter. You play around the spells and the rest is just expensive threats that will never happen in this game.
No, it don't really matter because if he's going to play Chanter of Fractust, will kill it immediately.
Yeah, and Cryptic is his 2 mana away from Cryptic, and he has
Yes.
an onboard presence already. And also there's cards like Ulamog with its on-cast trigger, where the best answer to this card is definitely just not letting your opponent getting up to 10 mana, not Cryptic in it.
But not happening anymore. Martin has already access to 12 mana.
Martin
Now-
has access to all the mana. He's
wants-
got 3 power plants, so
Yes.
still destroying a tower or a mine could do something for a while, but,
But
yeah.
you know what? That's most likely the reason why he's not sacrificing his Wayfarer's Bubble.
It's called Expedition Map.
Expedition
Wayfarer's
Map.
Bubble is
Thank
the
you
one
very
that
much.
gets just basics, yeah.
Sorry, it gets me all the time. The stream is not so clear as you see. I cannot read the names and I'm really bad at names. But okay, I will try my best to solve this issue sooner or later.
So yeah, he's...
Stefan has drawn into a land.
But I really like what you were saying, except
Yeah.
for the misname. Like, yeah, so he keeps the Expedition Map, and if either the tower or the mine gets destroyed, he can get the missing piece again. So this is just a backup. This is
Yes.
very, very smart play from Martin here. There's no need. He could get a Sanctum if he could also get a Sanctum if he draws a big threat to get another big threat. But right now, the best case scenario is definitely letting that map sit because he's very far ahead on board. He knows what's happening. Now it's just using the duress mode on Collective Brutality. This will get spell snared, so it still trades for a card. Because he didn't escalate, he already knew. I mean, Draining is not doing much. Draining would kill Martin here, but he knows it would get countered, so there's no point in Draining because
No.
he's gonna counter it anyway.
Maybe he doesn't need the cards he has in hand.
Yeah.
I think I saw one Urza's Tower, but I'm not... Yeah, I saw one Urza's Tower. I'm quite sure about it. So it doesn't really matter. He can now search up for Urza's Mine, and he's pretty safe for anything. I think this...
Was Snapcaster, right? Was it?
yes, Snapcaster Mage,
So
but there's
Snapcaster
no...
has to jump block the... Okay, now there's
No.
Ulamog happening, so now there's just... It's just...
This is just
yeah.
devastating. Targeting 2 lands. Response... Oh, Ceremonious Rejection. Ulamog
Too
is
little,
getting
too
countered,
late.
but yeah.
Ah! Stefan was like, he couldn't do it. I mean, it's not that Ceremonious Rejections is surprising here, but I think the correct play might have been to just not Ceremonious Rejections it. But he just wanted to show, we see the both smile on show Martin. At least you're not getting that Ulamog. And then he
Never.
packed up his cards immediately
Yeah.
because he had 1 land left. So yeah,
One
both
land
of these
and one
games are
life.
pretty fast on one side. It's just a natural turn 3 Tron into Wordbreaker with previously cast Star Effect. That was quite strong.
Insane. One of the best starts I think Martin could have.
Especially
Land
because
destruction
Worldbreak
and
is
the
so
threats.
much better
Yes.
than other threats. Even if Stefan had an untapped land here, the on-cast trigger and Worldbreak would have still eaten one of those lands. Because if you remember, Stefan had the Logic Knot, his second land was untapped. So nothing happened here. He couldn't cast it, and also Logic Knot is not a very good answer for Worldbreaker because the on-cast trigger happens, and then you also get to bring it back by paying 3 mana and sacrificing a land, returns to your hand, and then it eats more lands.
Not really a position you want to be in as a control player.
But now Stefan is on the play again for
Yes.
game 3. We see what changes here. Neither player seems to have adjusted their sideboarding at all here.
No, so most likely the Spellcaller stayed in, or what do you think?
I think the Spellqueller stayed in. And I think that the bigger sorcery speed threats, we saw the one Chandra stay in, but I think maybe some of the other cards came out. Not completely sure. There's also some other things that might. Supreme Verdict is probably also not something you want to be ever having against Tron, so that probably came out too. And we still see Stefan sitting on
Oh, Expedition
yeah.
map.
again.
So do we see a turn 3? Yes, I think we're going to see a turn 3 Tron if Stefan can
Did you
handle
see
this.
the second Tron piece in hand?
I think I saw a second Tron piece in hand. Yes,
Wow.
there is a tower in his hand. So he has to search for...
So Stefan
Heartland.
needs to find something here.
pretty fast actually, but we do
Search
see Search for
is
Iskandar.
nice, but it doesn't interact with the turn 3 Tron. Maybe
Nope,
a field
but
of ruin on turn 3.
yes, but Search gives him the ability to look for Field of Ruin.
Yeah, and
One
now,
card deeper at least.
but he's not doing it. He's not cracking the map. That means he has the power blend in hand here.
Wow.
I don't think you just wanna rush. Do you wanna rush? Do you wanna delay your Tron a turn? If you don't have the third Tron piece, I don't think so, because if your opponent has any shadow effects, they could just eat your map.
Yes.
And that thoughts is nice. So I think that Martin might already have the natural Tron in hand here. And if he doesn't have the natural Tron, then he probably does not think it's likely to get his expedition map shattered. And then he just values getting the Thoughtseize out here and get a look at Stefan's hand, which by the way is not very strong. It's just 3 lands and a Logic Knot with the Snapcaster being taken.
Maybe you know what? Maybe he needs access to a forest, to green mana, and he doesn't already have access to it. And I do. So I have seen a second tower in his hand. We will see what's going to draw. We see Scalding Down here from Stefan. He has
No,
lands,
yeah,
one
he's just not
Spellcaller.
going. He's just hitting the Thoughtseize off. He's just saying, I can get my mana later. I have it set. I just want to disrupt Stefan as much as possible at this point, so that then I can deploy my big threats without having them countered. So this is smart too, because there's no point rushing for Tron when then your big spells would just get countered, and having those 2 Thoughtseizes means that play previous turn makes a lot more sense to me now.
But Stefan did draw in a Spellqueller
Ooh.
here. He's going to Spellqueller the 4th season. Now he's a threat on the board. So maybe now
That's
it's time
nice.
for Martin
And
to
he
search
still
for
has
Tron.
that Logic Knot in hand, which can counter the first big spell of Martin's here. But the question is, what else is he going to find? He's just quickly leaving a Cryptic Command on top, which means that position is actually quite nice. Depending on the threat density on Martin's side, this might be quite favorable until Ulamo comes down, because
Yes.
they're not that amazing, those counter spells against
No,
Ulamo.
not against the cast trigger, but now currently Worldbreaker would also be okay. Be fine. Destroying Search for Iskandar. Martin knows 2 of the 3 cards in Stefan's hand, so would be a nice deal. And Worldbreaker, as we all know, 5/7, can block flyers.
Yeah, it's got
Really
reach.
nice.
It's got reach hidden somewhere in the wall of text. People forget it's got reach because the layout is a bit confusing.
Yes.
The reach is like this one little word in a big wall of text. And now we have
Sweet.
Tron assembled and Ancient Stirrings looking for a payoff. What is the payoff?
Source. So, what
But
are
he
we going to see?
won't be able, in no way will he be able to cast Worldbreaker this turn. He can't.
Nope.
That's not possible.
He can't.
He's finding it though. He's finding the Worldbreaker, but he can't cast it
he
this
doesn't
turn.
need to cast it this turn.
But
Come
he will
on.
cast it next turn. Because now he's only got 6 mana
Yes.
if he cracks this, which is not casting Worldbreaker, but he will have it next turn. And
Yeah, maybe he got Frack Dust in hand. We don't know. We don't know all the cards in his hand now except for Worldbreaker.
sure, but he's cracking straight away with the mana he had floating. We saw he found a forest, and now he's just getting a Stirrings. And now you probably just get another Tron piece maybe if you have Ulamog, or let's see.
He should get another Tron piece. You know why?
What?
Because he has the forest in hand.
Yeah.
And because he wants to get out of reach of Logic Knot. Because he knows about Logic Knot. He knows his opponent has 4 lands in his graveyard. And if he can't get out of reach of this, life will be so
But
much
what
easier
is
for him.
happening here with Stefan? Do you think he wants to counter this?
Yes, maybe.
Why do
he
you
wants
want to counter the scrying? Do you?
Because he's not up to 10 mana yet.
So you're really scared of Ulamog? You
I'm
think he's
quite
not
sure
gonna
he's
hit
scared of
Ulamog?
Ulamog.
But that's only Ulamog's just a 2-of.
Yes, but
The game hasn't gone very long. The
You know-
chances of him having Ulamog, or is it just he's actually Logic not doing that. Wow.
because he doesn't want Martin.
Yeah, he doesn't
To
want
have
Martin
a
to
lot
get,
of
he
mana
doesn't want
available.
Martin to get up to Ulamog. I get it. I'm still not sure if I agree with it. I get the reasoning. It's sound, but I'm not sure if it's the best course of action here. Because you still have the second counter, so I get it. You still get to cryptic something else. And
Martin is just chaining his cantrips.
yeah, I would love... Stefan should have a Cumber on the board here. Those players get wrecked by Cumbers. So
Yes, but you know what you need for Campbell?
Black mana. Yeah.
Yes, and I think Jeskai control doesn't have access to black mana.
No, also chess control, not the best chair for Cumber, but Cumber is a sweet card.
Yes, because you like to play it yourself.
And because it's great in the human stack in matchups just like that as well.
Yes, there you are 100% right, but humans also has a much faster clock.
Sure. And now we see that Worldbreaker being cast. Let's see.
Cast trigger
trigger
on
going on
stack.
search. Yeah, search.
Yes, sweet. But we do see a cryptic command here, most likely counter draw. Yes,
Yeah.
we do see the draw here. Of course. Every
Is
other
there
thing would have been a bad play.
any way bouncing your own search in response is better than drawing a card?
Might be. Is the written permanent or creature? Yeah, I think cryptic command is permanent.
Cryptic
for
command can definitely bounce
Yes.
permanent. You can definitely bounce the search. I know that. The question is whether it's a better play. You have
Hmm?
to reinvest 2 mana, but instead of a random card, you get access to your search,
Sure. And,
which is obviously better than a random card.
Yeah,
So let's
and a better
see.
setup for the future.
But the random card might be another counterspell. And
Mm-hmm.
now we have another scrying, which makes Stefan's play before worse here, because now Martin has access to all the mana. We see what Stefan is here. We see him get a Sanctum, so that tells me that
Sweet.
there is already a big threat ready, just waiting
Mm-hmm.
to bring another big threat with it. Yeah,
Khan.
Sanctum.
Ceremonious rejection here.
Yeah, but
Sweet
it's
play.
not good enough because there's just another thing coming. But if
Yes,
Stefan
Ulamog.
has, it's gonna be Ulamog and it's gonna be and this is just how Tron works. It's so hard with like the Sanctum before we even no Eye of Ugin is happening anymore. But Sanctum, in this case, did a very good impression. We just saw tutor up the Sanctum, sack the Sanctum, and play another threat. The Khan got countered, but no way that Ugin is countered. What Stefan would need would pretty much be a Field of Ruin right now to hit either the mine or the power plant, but it's not happening. And even if he can counter the Ulamog, if he has a counter for the Ulamog or a path, it's still okay because he's got so many lands.
Yes,
So we'll see
even
what's
more.
happening here. He's not dead yet. Like if he doesn't have an answer. So
Yes, we do see another ceremonious.
Yeah, another
rejection.
ceremonious rejections, both played. So now it would be very nice. The Thoughtseize is going back here. So the Thoughtseize is going to be cast straight away.
Path to Exile. Oh,
Path
no.
is taken.
Now you would think Martin is out of reds, but not really because there's still a Worldbreaker in his graveyard.
I
Am
would have
wrong?
used the path for the Ulamog here, but I
And
wouldn't have.
he's currently
made a difference.
looking for his Worldbreaker and
Oh,
got it back to
yeah.
sand.
Yeah.
So, Worldbreaker going to be played again, destroying one land.
Yeah,
and
that
being a threat.
Thoughtseize was so good because otherwise the Worldbreaker wouldn't do anything because it would just get pathed now.
Mm-hmm.
And now we see floating a white mana. And, ooh, Martin gets his Worldbreaker path still because Stefan found another path off the top. He's got 4 mana here. The question is, I don't think he has access to white mana because he's playing 2 copies of Hellofan now. He still plays Sacred Foundries 2. He has access to white mana with that Scalding Tarn. But I think 2 white sources already got killed. And so we see a Collective Brutality revealing a Flooded Strand and another Khan. Yeah, Martin is
Okay.
just peeling him off the top, right? He's
Yes.
just peeling thread after thread right now. And also those discard spells seem very, very nice for the Tron player in this matchup here.
Yes, they really do a lot of hard work here, forcing his opponent to cast all his counters before Martin starts playing his big threats. So we see a land being exiled. Stefan is down to only 3 lands. One Steam Vents, 1 Island. Okay, there is now a Snapcaster Mage. Okay.
Does he have anything to flashback that's not part of Exodus Ceremonious Rejection? He's looking through this pile and he's like, yeah, opt. Okay. But the thing
he
is,
has
I
to
don't.
opt for the best.
You can't win. You can't
No.
win through a Canon 7 with this build of Jeskai control. There's no detention spheres or rather clean answers, which means that you, sure, hit it. Even if you draw a lightning bolt now, you hit it to 4, then you hit it to 2 with the Snapcaster, then it pluses, goes back up to 6. It's just, the +4 is just so much. So I think this is pretty much over, but we see what Stefan can do here, but I would not like to be in his position.
No, me neither.
There is literally nothing. There's no answer to Khan.
No, and he already lost 3, 4, 5 lands. How many lands did he lose already in this game?
So many lands. I think
And he drew another one. He's currently played a Scalding Darn, and
I think it's
if I've seen it clearly, he has another Scalding Darn in hand. So it really doesn't look good for him.
And now what? He can play Jandra, and then you can get that. No.
No, he has to completely forget about Khan and attack his opponent's life total, because Martin is down to 6 life.
Yeah, but it is the
He
Chandra.
is the Chandra.
So
yes,
it's Martin. Yeah, he has to ignore Khan. I agree,
Yeah.
but then Khan is going to eat something, and he's going down to 4.
Yeah, Khan is going to eat Chandra, of course.
But the thing is that if he draws a bolt off the top and Martin has nothing, he's got lethal here.
Yes, he has lethal here. So we are going to see Khan getting rid of Chandra, and
Yeah.
what are we going to see else from Martin?
But Stefan's fighting here, it's good. Like I didn't realize for a second that Martin's life total was so low here. So that gives Stefan an opportunity to just go straight for the face. But here, Relic is very powerful here because it also turns off any future Snapcaster shenanigans, if there even was anything worth snapping. But right now, again, the bolt off the top would be lethal if nothing big happens here. But we see a Stirring.
Oh
Stirring
boy,
might
this
spell
is bad
something
for
big.
Stefan.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, just a land.
It doesn't matter because he has a second Khan in hand, so he can play Khan, destroy Snapcaster Mage.
I think
and be
that's what he
completely
should do.
bulletproof. Or training.
Yeah, if you have a Brutality too. If you're
The
Brutality.
sweet-
Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is really over. Oh my god. Stefan gave it a fight. He managed to get him down to 4. He managed to set up a position where he had a little top deck, but not with the cards Martin had access to in his hand here. And now Martin is just untapping, and the rest is pretty much just like.
digging up.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
because
he
he bolt- oh my
threw
god.
the bolt!
He would have had
Adding
it.
insult to injury, he would have had it if there would have not been any threat or removal spell of Martin's side. Stefan would have really fought his way back to the win in this game. This is pretty incredible here, because he would have had it.
You know what? He's still not dead this turn. So he
So
can
there's
just
another
draw
bolt
another
off the
bolt.
top?
If there's another bolt on the top, he can win. And I think he does have more than one turn for this. No, okay, he has
because
one
the
red
Khan
sauce.
can eat the second red sauce.
Yeah, but he needs tick down 4, or?
No,
tick
it's down 3,
Down
up
3, up
4.
Yes.
So I
sorry.
think that, no, he's ticking up.
Okay, Logic
Wow.
Lock is gone.
So this might give him another turn for the board. I think ticking down the Khan would have been safer.
I would have ticked him down too. It
Because-
doesn't matter, Khan would have died, but
Yeah,
whatever,
but
no
you
bolt.
will find some way to win the game if your opponent's stuck on 2
Okay.
islands.
So now Snapcaster top deck mode is also gone. We see him ticking
Yeah,
down.
now the red sauce is gone.
Oh, I know.
And the worm coil.
So that's it.
Ah, so close.
Yes.
I didn't expect that game to be that close, and the second board would have been like 6 cards down the top. So not here immediately, but yeah.
It was a fascinating game. We do see what Stefan also boarded. We
Yeah.
see 2 Crundle 2 Dust, I'm sorry, which would have completely gone wreck havoc on Martin's land base.
Yeah, and
But-
two negates, 2 ceremonious rejections. So he did not bring in the wear test. That would just be shatters. He took out 2 Gideons, 2 verdicts, and 2 bolts, which I think is reasonable. I think I like the bolts maybe more than some of the Keranos Chandra stuff, but you also need to be able to win the game. But I totally agree with what Stefan brought it in. What can you say about Martin's sideboarding here?
Well, he brought in more threats, not evasive, but 3 of them are more resilient. Fragdusk, 2 Fortnite Seer. He brought in his 2 Thoughtseize and 2 of his 3
and he
Collective
got to
Fidelity.
take out 3 Fail Push, 3 Oblivion Stones, and shave some other cards like Wormcoil, which is weak to Path, and also the Walking Ballista, which just doesn't do much in this matchup.
No, not really. Walking
So
Ballista
9
is certainly
cards,
not made
yeah.
for this matchup.
That's one of the advantages of the Black Splash. You have 9 cards to board in here, and you're like very, very far ahead post board in this matchup that is already a good matchup for you in the first place, because those cards are mostly there to make your combo matchups a bit better, but they have like very interesting and strong usability against control decks as well.
As we've seen here, the discard spells completely destroyed Stefan's game plan and led Martin darts to winning.
And
this
now we
match.
see some nice RK post token here, which is he's showing the emblems. I think the left one's the Gideon emblem, the right is the Chandra emblem here.
Sweet.
So those look very fancy. The Chandra was very, very close to embleming that one game when it ticked up to 7, but Stefan won without getting the emblem too. So I don't think he will be too mad about it. He would have probably preferred winning the last game, but yeah.
This is Magic. Martin drew the better cards. It was a better matchup for him. Stefan tried his best. He really played the winning line. He saw it by killing his opponent. He drew the right thing, but Martin just had the one more removal he needed to go through this line and won the last game.
Yeah, that brutality.
And with that,
Wow.
the match. Yes. So thank you for watching. If you want to say us anything or comment on the video or how we make the video or have any question, please comment below and see you in the next video.
See you later.